Ladies and gentlemen, I have finally reached the day that every DM dreams of. I finally get to play D&D. Hello nerds and nerdettes, welcome to Mana Brain. So as of right now, I just resolved one of my campaigns. So now I get to actually play the game, and I'm in 2 campaigns. But what that also means is I get to revamp my player bag. So we're gonna go through the backpack and see what all I need to keep in and what I'm gonna take out so that way I can re-optimize for being a player. And hopefully throughout this process, you'll get some ideas of things that you need to bring to your games to help make things a little bit easier. With that being said, let's go ahead and move to a different angle so that way you can see things better. Okay, so here we have the floor so I can just kind of like lay everything out. And also, here's the bag. I don't know what brand backpack this is. I think it's just like some random one. I got it for college like way back when. Anywho, let's dig into the bag. First up, dice. iPad, notebook. Okay, I really don't need dry erase markers and I'll probably throw that away off screen. So, let's break down the essentials. So, I don't need dry erase markers. This is my DM's journal. I think I really only need one of these. I'm gonna keep this for whenever I DM campaigns. I'm not really gonna worry about that right now. So it is also worth noting that I am playing a wizard, which means 2 things. One is I'm making both my wife and my friends' lives much more complicated than they otherwise would be because I'm actively trying to break all of the physics in the game. But second, that also means a lot more notes and potentially homebrewing spells. So we'll kind of cross that bridge as we go along. So this one stays. This is actually my YouTube journal. So this is for whenever combat is taking forever and I can work on things in general. But yeah, general brainstorm stuff, that's staying. I'm not particularly a dice goblin. I'm pretty minimalist whenever it comes to this stuff. I think I'm leaning towards keeping this in the backpack just because I have the space. I was also thinking about having things hyper condensed, so ultimately this becomes optional and I just need to grab my binder, my book, and my iPad. Now, it is also worth noting that I am thinking of going fully analog, so I really wouldn't need the iPad even though it is really helpful. And honestly speaking, I wouldn't need that if I have this and my iPad. And honestly, I wouldn't need the notes either. I am leaning towards these things. Okay, so now that we went through all this stuff, let's actually go ahead and move to the desk so that way I can go through everything in here that I need, because this covers dice, notes, downtime, and honestly additional downtime, but this also works as a temporary character sheet. We'll get to that in a second. This is where things are probably going to get a little bit more hairy, just because this is almost purely built for being a DM. So my thought process is, if I have dice, that's always going to be good on hand. But the thing is, I don't need my bar generators, I don't need my tables, I don't need my maps. So that I'm actually going to go take out. The question then becomes, do I build an entire tab that's completely focused on my characters? Okay, let's actually look at, because this is also some old stuff that, oh, I am going to keep that in here because my wife made that. And okay, these are no longer a problem. I can throw those away. Okay, character backgrounds. That's a whole ass artificer crafting system. I wasn't anticipating this being a part of the video, to be completely honest. The simplicity that cleaning out a whole bunch of papers that you no longer need brings to life, it kind of has like that last day of school feeling like as an adult, whenever you get rid of all the papers that you no longer need. There is like this very strong satisfying feeling. So what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm going to consolidate all of this into one specific section, and then I'm going to optimize 2 different tabs specifically for each spellcaster because I'm playing 2 wizards. If you have any recommendations, please drop them in the comments below, because the other thing I do want to kind of keep a track of is have one of those sectioned off grid ones, like the things that you use for playing cards and stuff like that, so that way I have items that I can just flip through as opposed to having to look on D&D Beyond. I do like D&D Beyond, but right now I've kind of gotten to like this mental headspace where I'm like trying to go analog everything. With that being said, thank you so much for watching and going on this trip with me, just because I wasn't sure where this was going to kind of go. If you do want to see those updates in this video, because again, this is kind of a Mark 1, make sure to subscribe. But with that being said, thank you for kind of going on this journey with me, because it has been a hot second since I've been a player, because I have been a DM for so long. And honestly, I got to a point where I was a little bit of burnout, but I'm starting to re-enjoy this hobby a lot more now that I get to kind of take a little bit more of a relaxed, fun, casual role. With that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video.